It's Marc Zicree, Mr. Sci-Fi, also known as Marc Zicree of Space Command. It's a rainy Sunday here in LA, but also very, very nice. And just wanted to talk a little bit about the ukulele. And you'll say, well, what's that got to do with science fiction? I'll get to it shortly. There's a wonderful singer and a performance artist named Amanda Palmer, who is married to my friend Neil Gaiman. And some of you will know of her, some not. It's very funny. I mentioned once that she had started her career as a living statue, and Adam Carolla, who I was appearing on a panel with, said, living statue? I think that the regular statues have that pretty much covered. So well, no, not the way she did it. So when we were starting our Space Command campaign, Amanda was doing her Kickstarter campaign, and Neil was kind enough to advise me about what we were doing based on what he and Amanda were learning from Amanda's campaign. And Amanda, as some of you may know, netted over $1 million and got some pushback in the media, which was totally, I think, undeserved. I think she comes from genuine creative passion, genuine joy, genuine love, and is a great soul. And she's just written a book called The Art of Asking, which I'm reading now and enjoying very, very much. Because I think for many of us, asking is very difficult. Asking for what we need, what we want, particularly when you're an artist. And Space Command has been that same journey for me in terms of learning to ask for what we need, particularly on this massive project. And I'm getting better at it, but it's still very alien to my nature. And but Amanda has a song called the Ukulele Anthem, which I may find some way to link to on Mr. Sci-Fi. It's the Ukulele Anthem, and it's really wonderful, as is her TED Talk. And I'll be reaching out to her soon because I think she very much is a kindred spirit. But I wanted to talk about ukuleles for a moment because, as many of you know, Ray Bradbury was my friend and mentor for many years. And I would go over to his house about once a month, and we'd sit and we'd talk and reminisce and, and just talk about career, talk about writing, talk about anything and everything. And it was just the experience of a lifetime. And sadly, they just tore down Ray's house. They sold it, and it was torn down. And I was very sad about that. I posted about that on Facebook. John King Tarpinian, who's a mutual friend, has salvaged some of the exterior yellow paint from Ray's house. It was a bright, bright canary yellow, very distinctive. And so he's going to be giving me a piece of Ray's house, which I'll keep, of course, and remember Ray through that. But in terms of ukuleles, Ray's mentor, his inspiration, the person who, when he was young, gave him a push in the right direction, was his Aunt Neva. And Aunt Neva was only a few years older than Ray, and was a very, very free spirit and a wonderful woman, and brought the Oz books to him and introduced him to many joyful things. And in his house, in his dining room, he had a little shrine to Aunt Neva with her ashes and with photos of them and things she had loved. And he told me that she had played the ukulele, and that someday he intended to get a ukulele and put it there at the shrine. And but he hadn't gotten around to it. So that night, I went home and I went on eBay and I found a ukulele and I bought it. And it came in the mail, and I wrapped it up, and I brought it the next week to Ray and gave it to him. And his face lit up when he saw what it was, and he was so happy. And he put it by Aunt Neva, and and it was a memory for him and for me, and now for you. And so when I see Amanda Palmer singing her ukulele anthem so joyfully, and it's a song about giving your heart over to the world and giving your heart over to love and to truth and to not being afraid to risk, to put yourself out there, I think of her, and I think of my journey, and I think of Ray's journey, which was so loving. Ray once said to me, looking back over a lifetime, you see that love was the answer to everything. And I think that is true. And so reading Amanda's book and looking at her fearless self out there in the world, that doesn't mean you don't have fear. You have fear, but you don't let it stop you. And I think the most dangerous thing you can say in this world is love one another, because look at what happened to Gandhi and Martin Luther King and Jesus Christ. But I think we have to endeavor to do that, to say it, and to put ourselves on the line, and to stand for compassion in our work, in our lives, in everything we do, and to really mean it. And so that's about it for now. That's my little Mr. Sci-Fi commentary for today. But I just wanted to share this with you. Amanda's book is called The Art of Asking, and I'm just starting it now, but I'm really loving it, and I recommend it. And you can get it on Amazon.com and bookstores, and there's even an audio version of it. which is very fun because she reads it herself. So that's it for now. And as the traffic, as I reach traffic, I'll talk to you later. Just to subscribe, spread the word, share, like, do all the things you do. And we'll talk to you again really soon. Bye-bye.